Okay, so everybody knows Robotron 2084 and Smash TV, right? Well, what about the other guys? The hidden gems? The twin-stick games that were shoved in the corner of the arcade while everybody else was pumping quarters into Street Fighter 2. Well, today we're dusting them off, firing them up, and giving them the spotlight that they deserve. So here are some arcade twin-stick games that you might not be familiar with, but ones you should definitely check out.
Let's start things off with an honorable mention. Bullet is an overhead run-and-gun twin-stick shooter released by Sega in 1987, in which players guide an operative through hostile bases filled with hordes of alien and robot enemies. And while this is the most recent game on this list and a bit crude graphically, I do believe it deserves a mention and one you should definitely give a try before writing it off.
Alright, so this game kind of reminds me a lot of Smash TV mixed with, I would say, Cannon Spike. And, for being 1987, it probably doesn't look quite as good as some games that came out from that same time period, but it's still worth checking out and playing. It may seem a little simple at first. You can see I'm walking over those colored circles here and getting weapon upgrades. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. You see there, I upgraded now to this laser. And then shortly here, we'll get to a boss. Music's nice. Just feels like the frame rate's off a little bit. And I know it's not how I'm playing it. It's just how the arcade was. Maybe we can get him here. Normally I do that without dying at all, but we got to the second level. Then it actually turns into a horizontal scrolling shooter. So it's pretty unique, I think. Again, it takes a couple of different cues from different games. And now we're going this way. Yeah, come on. And now we're back to the boss, and this one is bats, yeah. And then you get those. Geez, there's a pattern there, but yeah. So that's Bullet.
Lost Tomb, released by Stern in 1982, is a twin-stick adventure game where players explore a booby-trap pyramid. One stick moves your explorer, the other fires a gun with a separate button used to swing a whip for attacking enemies and destroying walls. Players collect treasure while navigating rooms filled with hazards and locked doors which require keys to progress. It blends maze exploration with shooter mechanics that was pretty unique for its time. And while I don't feel the controls are quite as tight as other games on this list, it's still worth playing today and one I'd recommend.
Alright, playing some Lost Tomb. Now, this one I probably don't come back to as much as some of the other games on this list, not because it's bad. I feel like maybe the controls aren't quite as tight as some of the other games, but it's still a good game. You do use movement just like these other twin stick shooters. You move with the left stick and then you shoot with the right. However, you do have a button for the whip, and I'll show you what the whip is here. So it kind of takes out enemies and it takes out walls. So it, I don't know if you want to say this isn't a twin stick shooter. I think it still is because, again, your movements are, are still used by, the left stick and then the right stick to shoot. So in that sense, it's still a twin stick shooter. But yeah, not a bad game. Now this cutscene here is kind of interesting. So if you take too long, you actually get enemies coming after you, and you can die, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but overall, I like this game. Now I know this did recently come out on the Evercade. I think it was the Atari Collection 2 or something. So I'm not sure how that plays, because the arcade can't really be duplicated, the controls on the Evercade. So in the comments, maybe tell me if this game plays better with a D-pad or worse, or if you've ever played it with two joysticks. If that configuration just works better, I have no idea. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, overall, I mean, I do like this one. But, it's just, again, it just feels like it's a little sluggish sometimes. And the difficulty's kind of hard. But yeah, it's Lost Tomb.
Rescue, also released by Stern in 1982, is a helicopter action arcade game where players pilot a chopper over the ocean, rescuing stranded divers while battling enemy aircraft, boats, and subs. You must hover low to pick up survivors, then carry them safely to an island to drop them off, all while dodging and destroying numerous threats. It mixes Defender-style shooting with a search and rescue twist, making it one of the more unique early helicopter games.
All right, so this is Rescue. Very interesting game. When this came out in the arcades, I do not remember. I don't remember ever seeing this at my local arcade, but I discovered it a few years ago, and it is very fun. The controls take some time getting used to. It's essentially, though, choplifter. Pick up your guys, drop them off, and it gets harder and harder. Now, this one does have an extra button. It's got a bomb button that you have to use if you want to shoot ships in later levels. So if you only like your twin stick shooters, just using the sticks, then you may not like this one, because, you have to take a finger off in order to shoot those bombs. But I still consider this a twin stick shooter, and I still consider this to be fun. Again, I think it's the difficulty that's probably the worst part about it. So now I got to get 3 guys instead of 2. Oh, and then, obviously you get hit, you lose all your guys. Gotta fend off some sharks. Oh, I pulled up too soon. Sorry, brother. Man, it is relentless. But it's still fun. Yeah, he just got eaten by a shark. Sorry. It's kind of hard to see where the ocean level kind of starts in this. That's one of the frustrating things about it. But man, I mean, it's just, these guys are just all over me. And you can hit these paratroopers with your blades. All right, gotta drop off 3 dudes, which just should be great, yeah. All right, there you go. 16's my high. We're almost at 13. So yeah, I don't get very far in this. Still like it. Now here we are at night. And I think there are subs maybe on this one. Well, where are my paratroopers? There we go. Yeah, there's a sub right there. As you can see, I can drop a bomb there. Yeah, boy, it just gets hard so fast. Yeah, so that's Rescue.
Timber can be considered the spiritual sequel to Tapper because it basically is just a rework of the bartender character. Released by Bally Midway in 1984, Timber puts you in control of a lumberjack, chopping down trees while avoiding stumps, wildlife, and the many trees that you've already chopped down. The gameplay is very similar to Tapper in the way that you use your joysticks. There's also a log rolling bonus round after clearing 2 levels. That's very satisfying. This one is super addicting and just as much fun, if not more fun than Tapper, in my opinion. So definitely check it out if you get the chance.
All right. Love me some Timber. Hot take. This one I probably play more than Tapper. Now don't get me wrong, I love Tapper. I mean, I bought a Tapper themed arcade cabinet, but this is the one I come back to more. I don't know why. I think it's just the chopping down the trees. It's just really satisfying. Now, if I had to give a negative, I would say the color palette. All this baby poop brown can kind of wear on you a little bit, but other than that, this game's a blast, and it's just highly underrated. Bonus round on this game, I think, is actually more fun as well, which we're going to get to here. It's a lot easier to mess up the bonus round on this versus Tapper, which I almost did there. Yeah. Doesn't change much, but I just find it more fun. You can also play 2-player co-op. It's something that you have to change, at least for me, I have to change and remap the controls because I'm using the left stick for movement and then the right stick for chop, so I have to put that onto a button in order to do the chopping. But yeah, it's worth it. It's very fun to play this with a friend. And yeah, if you haven't checked this out, my goodness, what are you waiting for? Timber's awesome.
Little Rebel was never released in the US, which is really unfortunate. Yes, it's very quirky and on the surface doesn't really look appealing, but it's incredibly addictive and the true definition of a hidden gem in my opinion. Released by Namco in 1983, Libble Rabble is a puzzle arcade game where players control 2 arrows, one for each joystick. By stretching a line between them, you lasso and capture mushrooms, treasures, and wandering creatures inside closed loops. It's colorful, unusual, and one of the few arcade games to fully use twin-stick controls in a non-shooter format. I can't recommend this one enough, and thankfully it's been re-released on modern consoles, although this is the preferred way to play it.
Okay, so this is Libble Rabble, and I don't even know how to describe this game. Probably kind of like Kicks. So this first stage is kind of like a little practice stage, but yeah, you move these 2 arrows around, and you take the string, and you're trying to trap these enemies. Now, I don't, you got this cutter that comes along. I am nowhere good at this game at all. I've just kind of tried to figure it out. I really don't even know sometimes what I'm doing or what strategies, but I do know that sometimes waiting for some of these plants to grow more, you can get like some bonus rounds or something. Yeah, like, let's see here. Yeah, I don't quite know what that did. So I guess I'm supposed to trap these mushrooms. Yeah, I guess that was good. I don't know. I just know that it's fun. That's basically all I know. I think that probably got me to another level, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. But I like it. The bad part is sometimes you get like your left and your right confused. And you can get this string just going way too far, and then you feel like you can't control it. Okay.
5 minutes later.
But just so quirky, so Japanese, but it's so fun. And the movements take a bit to get used to. But just, don't let that fool you. This game is super fun. It's so strange. And I think it's on modern consoles now, so you can get it, on your PlayStation or your Switch. I've never played for this long. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, time's running out. I don't know how to increase my time. So that's Libel Rebel.
Space Dungeon is a twin-stick shooter released in 1981 by Taito that came out a year before Robotron. That's even more difficult. And although it's hard, just like Robotron, it's super fun and always has you saying, "one more game." Players control a probe droid exploring a maze-like space station. The left stick moves the droid, while the right shoots in any direction. The goal is to collect treasures scattered across multiple rooms while fending off swarms of robots, lasers, and turrets. The game tells you the direction of the exit, but leaves it up to you when you want to leave. But be warned that prolonged exploration can often lead to death, and any treasures that were collected will be dropped in that room, so there's an interesting risk-reward element. This game feels like Defender and Robotron had a baby, and it is criminally overlooked. If you can get past the difficulty, this one is a must-play.
Oh, Space Dungeon. So this game came out before Robotron, but in some respect, I think it's much harder. Like, I can get, over 200,000 on Robotron on a good day. This game, I think my high score, I don't even know where it is. It's not that high. You just pick up these little treasure pieces and then try to find the exit. Now, you can go exploring if you want to, but if you get hit, then all those pieces are going to be in that room. And yeah, a lot of the enemies like these are very much like Defender. They follow you, kind of like the mutants. So now I got to go back to that room, get my shit out of there. Sometimes they steal some of the stuff. Now, I could have picked up that piece, but I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. That's not a bad score for level 2. Yeah, it's nice when you get some stuff in that first room. Right, so this one, see, that was just like Defender. I hit that guy, and then it just broke off into these little bitty guys. It's games like this that I like, and I'm coming back to more and more, versus something like a Tears of the Kingdom or Grand Theft Auto. And there's nothing wrong with those games, but you can't do much in 20 minutes when you're playing a game like Tears of the Kingdom or GTA. Whereas this, I can just come in, do some high score chasing, get a bunch of games in 20 minutes, and then go about your day, and that's kind of what I like about them. They test you. See, going up there was probably, managed to make it out. But yeah, check this game out. So 4,000, great score for level 1. Ooh, yeah, I gotta take this to the end. So there's quite a few pieces I got right off the bat. Now I just want to get the fuck out of here. Nice. That's Space Dungeon though, and I love it. As hard as it is, I love it. I think you should play it. I really do. And there you go, 6 more arcade twin-stick games that should be on your radar if you're a fan of Robotron or Smash TV. Is there any of your favorites that I left out? Let me know in the comments. I do plan on doing a couple more videos in this series, and they might be featured in future episodes. And as always, if you enjoyed the video or you learned something, make sure to hit that thumbs up and turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload videos like this one. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.